Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Me more about PENDREAM TV. So make sure say any day you can share and have subscribe to the channel. No click the bell so say the news to our son service me can tell no share. Ivan Innocent na abedi sendi on Akuffo Addo enya asem ketua ewo niam ayekoso o memu ha na sha say free time ayede aban esi so any economic woes Ghana ode afemu na otie nsem na work na atimu se no crepa is like Ghana ya pay attention to sa o man panyini we na no na wode nchiremu a Ghana for yi ani free so eno ntie ehu ne ayehu nyesa anka say Akuffo Addo nyo obi ananka so say nya second term kra na ochirema Akuffo Addo has been a president from stealing of speech to stealing of public purse. I no nti say yakọ economic growth say sikase nyina adabasa men kasa bebre yankọ na ekoti nsema Ivan Innocent efa Akuffo Addo ho mra wode ne term eba wieye yonkọ video
About 320 there. Majidi is best friend 1 hour 40 minutes. And Ivan and so.
Oh, you better bet me. That would say 7 dollars. And yes, she answered there.
Oh, a country called Ghana.
Oh, mine na say I bedru a point. I said, what team crowd who left from all right. And Captain, the other side, the number of Ghanaian youth exited the shores of Ghana. No, na me catch us. I won't say, yeah, I'm crying. Not to be quite brocher when you're German. Hey, a brocher near Boga or Bapo. Ya Jenny said, the Nigene way I hope prepare a court a brocher. Masana, I am SMP and a Pama Mamfo from Mukrum. Ninina has to do with bread and butter issues. Oh. Ninina has to do with hope for the future. A Mamfo is secure not only for themselves, but for their kids. Then that's for them. I've spoken to a lot of Ghanaians, retirees living in the US, UK. Mraso. So where they are supposed to come home. But question now will be so more has to do with issues of healthcare. Or na sitting them send the BCI because conditions now are no. Enya dia condition. I bet you one brabo way. So what is our man for a kasa and ya kasa no be pe. Namum, we are all hoping say you bet me build the very foundations of this country. Said and chroma SCM vision, you know. Now you bet me nya da Ghana. Na see nya da Ghana na. I'm very sure, say, yemre. Because I will go back to 1957, Abra Ghana nya independence. Now we had the hope and they will chroma say, and chroma take off. The kind of industrialization drive, our shas here, foundations are not only at the time, na ye say, a bajimu mere. Yes, in Yansa, New Horse Amre no. But then chroma saw the wisdom, say, me kwaji asase, funtam, akusi, the whole industrial city like Tema. Or year motorway the count. I'm told that by the time I Ghana year motorway, no, not even London in the motorway. So you can imagine the idea. And the oil in such a way say, Usiswa, Wunjina baby until you arrive at the industrial city Tema. You drive back home. That was the idea. And my companies in us for the companies I can see. And my buy, my captain, go back to Tema today. What is supposed to be an industrial city is today a residential area. Our politicians are killing one another for a plot of land. Some will be saying so. So the vision we are trashing. Then you come to major companies and we are Osha say Okroma. Now no me share video on YouTube. Now I me say 1960 na Ghana share car e Okroma say. 1960 near share cars, buses akese e Okroma say. So 60, 70 years after. Not just say you're China and you're crass animal, we don't have those things. Now you should know that we have failed. Last time now we talk about tie factory, shoe factory, sugar factory. You see, the economy be a nice one has to do with the basic things like this. Import. So what me a produce near ma ube here so that won't fall sick and carbon and then the more minor a change with destiny. And the young nyansa cry yet here young passy abaya dibiano to any nafako China. Na China one of the richest country and sana Simon Kusnet order the GDP as a metric they measure economy abano. Now he says later now apply no. Who said China one of the richest countries in the world. But 50 years after China degenerated one of the poorest country and compared to your friends Sub-Saharan African countries. Then the whole thing changed. Because China realizes say I have the numbers more than US, more than UK. So why can't I leverage my numbers for economic take off. Then they decided to do industrialization way. And China shall see produce near bia and for behia because oye phone na America for your phone na obia chrome ni tobacco. China for being the part of to America because they are over 1.3 billion and over.
Right.
America are around 300 something million. So why na benya? That is a strategy. And the idea be who say ya no America say be ne boy ya den kura na China ye an inferior one. No they aba na waton wa ye sika saa kwana ni ama ene. They've been able to leverage their number. And the China industrial hub, many of the near my use when it comes to electronic gadgets and as well. Teteno growing up, no, most of them every Japan ever by China taking the market. And even phone crano, why won't we into iPhone who are way ni Oppo no wine I take the center stage. I ne Motimia turning the country around. And as a Maya, fortunately for us, you know, Captain, over near my year win na Miss China ni half. When it comes to natural resources, human resources, they don't even have it.
They don't.
But how are they able to position themselves to? Na ye to me ye nya na ya fra bro for kumumra ye nya gold mo me fa nko mutu amoma yembi ye nya oil mo me fa nko mutu amoma yembi I say ye nim nyansa e na ye te ha but da bia ye te radio so e na ye politics and consistently no or minor sink it to a point. Da bia me can say we another country like China. You see a city at the value na yesu, you see the at the value na yesu. Or mona here will say, okay, dollar need a stable currency. There is no way you can compete against the dollar. So your strategy is say, yam produce ye nema, so that we don't need dollar to go and import. Even ya kran yam koso na yen devalue yesikano. Sebe ya foreign goods, abaya disincentive for average Chinese person to go and buy foreign goods. Because what's China? You can't buy iPhone unless you're super rich. So that money you need a phone. So you buy from Huawei. It's a strategy, and then China is the second most, your friend is saying, biggest economy in the world. I now move rubber shoulder with the US. You buy a chrome here. The promises and the many things may take you back to 2016. Abana John Mahama, president, now in Samana, President Akuffo Addo, and non-political fringes. Major one has to do with Bosnia, your boy. John Mahama was borrowing recklessly or bound for Indians, but na Ghana ni say John Mahama Bosnia no boy no ubehu Legon hospital wasibi interchange ya na wa say hospitals akese rich hospital na yem patadan wa ko be because me Legon na me ko hokwa ye fe say clinicals na yem patadan na nesi wo. If you go to read today you see say one of the modern facilities are state of the art. Uko Kumasi a ukoye documentary about the medical village yesiesi Kumasi at Afari. Yet a program so na deputy minister Fred Oma assurance say oh in the next 3 months no Afari be ya adwuma till date Afari enya adwuma. Enti Busia na ye board that time no at least obetimi abobo 1 2 3 or ye bad the captain. Ya bobo sinya ba ma man no niema twa ye ho hia say there is nothing a obetimi ato wani dia hwe enra na me ka kire obi say ade be mpa na ya okroma say Ghana be kwa kobon kwase abosia na ka me ne yen na be kwa gina China ni anim apa na chew so wo he China ni na he be na ni tuatua na be na ni wo na Ghana ni egina China ni anim pa na chew so omfa ne kanche na hwe awere ho a eye. Then other institutions in Nasefon, Yaguya Nimasia Chiriasi, Bia Sasabi. When it comes to Abrabonia Yana Yabo, and Tibusia Yabona Bontia Nayaka and Manakosuri, we are Ghana Nino to a new chroma. You will expect a Wahunia Marcus here, a brand Babunu at school near Jumaya, Numa or economy new Koye, Sikana Yakoba Busiana Diaba, but Utu and new chroma. There is no trace. I'll bet me who say, Sasikana dear way near the air. And the last time I make her. Opa yanko fa keno forata mejina ha na yamfa ba ni nachi na yamisa na say kwaku wa bobosia eurobond nkwa o raise over 13 billion debt ni na sefo na wo de buy so to a point ene ye kakra yentimi ntua unti wo de ye serewo bosia na wo je ye ade a wo de ye kire na Ghana fo akoma ntom yem captain wan hwe ya wo de ahomte ba bu na kuno because onyanya nsade bia nka nkirewo bosia na mo boy na ya sika na gu. And in some way, na man for sorry radio, so na omo ka man for free say oh boys aba no ye den mrantia no ye the media for no the reality is a first no and I want to control the traditional media not anymore. Politics has always been the politics of narrative for Akuffo Addo people. We say Ghana for enim nyansa. And you know, you been few guys in fancy suit. Our more traditional media. Now you spew garbage to people, convincing people. So yeah, bibi. But the fact check and the realities now there. Captain Smart wait me say we fit dey akoba bi ase ye adwuma akwa as to whether it is true or not. Eba you come and report. And those armchair journalism where old people sit in a chair and I may ye adwuma 20 years in and a then impact ben na what make our society. And ka eti kroma yi ya beda sori na nka ye nya cater pot to be a signboard. You will see you an account for over 3-4 years in here. There is absolutely nothing there. Nasa amount for a can't same way no bit in general. Akuffo Addo to a president, the Ebian Koyame Papa and Kamanibaje, 100% of Papa president. But it's not about being president. It is not about say when you. It is about say 2 million at the mouth, no papa. Nyansa dear Ben, I would dear ye. Why leave legacy? Beja amount for because we see. So we are watching say Sika aya dibia we are say I wouldn't nyansa. Because from my background, so what you say Sika is everything in life. I wouldn't nyansa. Because from the background where I'm coming from, I've been at the hospital. I've been with people and people move at the point of their death. They had everything in life. Oh, Senke Sika nkwan ye dey ji omon kwan captain. They could have doubled the pay and come back to life. But at that point, you know, we know binum kasanu tie nsem mo ka and if they had opportunity to come back, masa, ebi akura baby sika obi apan come for her. They could have perceived a different life altogether. So you must be a fool to sit somewhere and say, media meba aban minu manyame ho awie. You are a fool because life isn't about money. Captain Tie. Abra, ye first say Kwame Nkrumah. Ofra brochira oba no. Or the portmanteau ne buy you. Because the guy came frustrated because I'm told he wrote his law exams in the UK. He couldn't pass 1, couldn't pass 2, and out of frustration he was shipped in. He came fully decided to work. He did not pursue well too. And Nkrumah and say a president bakwa obedi Ghana kumya na ahiana. Na he's one of them. Only estate, only a dime or East Legon, only a dime or he fine estate, but a ne. The legacy of Kwame Nkrumah has transcended beyond generation and never don't call Addis Ababa. Kwame Nkrumah state you esi ho. I didn't tell you say oh Africa had done with no was can question state you infancy Addis Ababa. Political textbook be Africa be a new be ma Kwame Nkrumah din every single thing about politics, leadership, governance. So Kwame Nkrumah is there. But any real estate. And how much dollars he had in his account. It is not how much way, it is the impact and the legacy that he left in his wake. I'm told it's a one African country, or more currency, or Mudi Kwame Nkrumah Guinea. Yeah, about the same. Guinea. So Kwame Nkrumah in Guinea. So Echesa Brabon Winyana Boniya, people will remember you. So we do not need President Akuffo Addo. Emmanuel Kwesi statue, Kwesi baby, Nwan Kopa. We don't need to do that. Oba bra papa ha. Among for best statue, amount even a bra wu. Na amount for akayo. Cause yatiha, and I see a the African Millennium Man, Kwame Nkrumah over years ago, but he won. Yabisa Mandela, the new journalist no more about match about Kwame Nkrumah went to Madiba the Kobisa and said, now what's the other Kwame Nkrumah be a woo that so I went a way. Now so we knew Nipa meto abano because or no one kasakra enim. Say Otoma Kwame Nkrumah because of the impact and the legacy that he left. So we will be away and na say we are conversant with some of these issues. Your more leadership position, but it is about the impact you make. Radio we are to see. It's not about scanning as a forecast and as a driver, but it's about the impact you are making on people. The number of people who have their troubles and they can look up to you because you are a revolving point. That is all that leadership is about. By Hano. It is about pursuing certain narrow agenda priorities in the forum. So we don't even care when I find the number because me kai pass Abra Obama by American president. Or they couldn't we now the economy was a bit tumbling. Near man said Joe Biden has always been an ideal president in the shadow. At the time Joe Biden Obama the possible candidate to replace him Joe Biden. But you know what they did? They look at the economy, the terrain. Waba umraso uhafuna mamfo nema nkoye ntino just sit aside. Joe, don't come. Mama Hilary Emra sabe ya mamfo may attribute you to my failures. Enti mama no ba no it was a different ball game altogether because no their cause no in as much as oil democrat ni no oni bibi exactly that is showing respect to for the people. By ye high so Akuffo Addo presidency what so in the last 8 years captain. Makacha said the whole presidency was premised on fraud. Oh yes, because Akuffo Addo himself is a fraud theory. Yes. He's a fraud theory. A concept you can study in the universities and then as for. Akuffo Addo is a fraud theory.
Oh, how?
Captain, this is a man. What is it? What the one you chair? He's a fraud theory, Captain. What is Akuffo Addo president? How many years in here? Men and women. This is a guy who has been shouted in the your friend saying political fringes for many years. Say our president Eddie. Fortunately enough, you're the president amount said D. The maiden edition. Okoria speeches about 4 American president okay kabom no be gina ho. Kana all kind on kind nketenkete kura o. Ahode ne kon hunti ne go and look at the video. Be citizen as for among 4 speech no kabom. So in the first place, President now Obama will made in addition. What senior the problems, the challenges of the people are. Ufru wakumum e kasa chiro bono. Onye na kumum no furu ye. Or among 4 speech no ku no okay kabom because personally he didn't have any vision. That is the fraud beginning or the fraud theory. Come my culture say, Sadia no ye ya fan who di no. Joe Biden, current president of America, or ye be one fan who in 1988 when he launched his campaign. Joe Biden in 1998, he was too young. Among for say, he cannot be president. But they are saying that he's too old. This is what happened. All launching a campaign, okojina platforms na all kasa, and na okofa obia sama waka one tribute to that person. Then they accused him of your friends said textual infidelity, plagiarism.
That's right.
For that matter, no, he had to resign from his entire presidential whatever. And the man, the caucus be replaced now only George Bush papa. A call contest at George Bush papa and the way near Emma Joe Biden cotton in the political career crown almost away because a Obama and a Baba revival. No, that is the crime. Akuffo Addo got away with on his maiden day. I broke a speech till date. Even the decency to apologize to Ghana and say, oh, I'm sorry. Because of the and this affairs now, Nkrofo control media no. And now with the click of the button, you can just go to the internet, Google, and then all of a sudden the videos were all over. But Akuffo Addo to date couldn't apologize to Ghanaians. Then he promised Ghanaians another fraud theory. Meba, I will protect the public purse. Captain, the public purse no real. Public person ayira nya say is only protecting ayira hwehwa
person ankasa na
ayira because it has been chrono upon chrono because you see in modern governance there is a reason why you don't unkosesa family members emegu aban mu because you see as a president you need to have a willpower, the willpower to crack on people ever go wrong. The very moment you ship in your family members into the fray, you lose one thing. That is the willpower to crack. Because your family member, when they mess up, you cannot do anything with them. That is the genesis of Ben Ali's your first and 4 our Tunisia. I give rise to this. Your friend is saying Arab Spring na course no because ne fear for ne yere nua ne yere wo fasia military generals no so mo de gum na ni ba mo ho so no na oman na atete apansam. And the very moment abon kan for ata bam old baby mama ebam na yere dada ebam ni nuam ba nie no wo fase nie no eno ebe choki aban to the stand say obi afri say o amamo na nya amamo biem ya ofa na bie akurase pharmacy bi na wasesa ya gum say sabi ya nton nema enti captain just imagine ofa bie pharmacy shop akurase na do watenam ade na ya tapa na this can be topa umfantu because ofa ntimi nyo hwe
oh yeah opa me akwahe
because ofa say ba de a abusianfo ba beka. That is exactly what is playing out. So me not here you who say governance na course to them a village supermarket no ofa bie no wase so magum no moton they are sales boys.
Oh
yes and no moton di na nya ton no moton di niam na ya ton na ya di so we take stock say sabi niam na say ekoyi ana say enkoye make profit ana say ye make profit no captain whatever hoso no na store na gu enti Ghana store no agu enu nti na ene e ka me ne yanya to the stand say ye the China foka ye bilateral creditors ye ntimi nti omoka wo because we have to beg China to forgive us. Paris Club ye first saying other international way ye do omoka and the big one among them has to do with the commercial space Eurobond. Captain William said so why investment kakra you know very well say among all the investment portfolios the most secured stock your friend saying bond and your stock because stock no obetimi ada sorry adebeche na fluctuations na se for usika nyina won lose ebetimi aba ma na di ya ma but when it come to your friend saying bonds there secured coupon rate given to you maturation date only and wo twen say esu a okwakoju usika and for the first time in the history of this country captain Ghana for mudo musika koto bond and Omusika kam.
Dabi me ka ho.
Exactly. Michael Branson ka ho.
See, sika me de top bond ma me ba Akuffo. Me de 2J Akuffo ya 2 ni din. The adofo de ba ya me de ko top bond ma J Akuffo akola aketwa.
Yes.
E was stand chat e ka ho.
But that is supposed to be the most secured investment Albania.
Abaya fa Akuffo akola
aketwa
sika.
And then President Akuffo Addo beka kire and say President Akuffo Addo beka kire and say oh Ghana for munsi abotere. Yen nyina yen share the burden. What is our president the cancer as a citizen you will come down because minim so South Korea there was a time I buy no de car to a pointer na ontimi nya no ho hwe citizens ehun say I buy wadwen papa woni tim enye ne pe na oye e na say be car ba enti ye ya ankasa ye be sunlight captain read about it so for sunlight o mo ankasa we no gold no akofa we wo diamond we osika e sunlight o mo ring ye gold e de koma aban say on ton no fa kotua ne ka and the chelsea abanya odwene nipa ho nipa so dwene ne ho. That is what you do. But this is a government that our catch us a title belt. President no ni belt na watate no. Ne belt no hosu kra o mobi. Na fuka tu no no didi me. E na pensioners asabi omota ma so se omusaka omusika ene kroma sa wote hospital bonzo obi di 60 years 70 years 80 years a captain because of environment the conditions aye wo minti no aye medication upon aye cocktail of medication awon so you can't exit who exit a obewu enye anti-hypertensive na ye anti-diabetic enye diabetic several conditions because at that age you know what comes with it man for say investment in omodo musika ye captain the number of mpanimfo mu e wo kroma na no kama pharmaceutical papa no friko for bia no say what in the audio no anche wawu okọ senchi beach resort kese na e wo ho na mahama na amanfo kwotena kwaye we bi some time ago no papa no wawu all because of this same investment amanfo kwaye omu abinding in sato obusika so enti citizens are being forced to sacrifice but the question is government are you ready so what to when you hear the other side state institutions are would mind sika di nkrasesem and at the end of the day no abina bunani aguso as if say hwe nkoso and there's over TV Bank of Ghana say launch new building. This is a banker or say papa kwasindium around the bank aboka we ato asian around the bank aboka enti yengu omo bank ema individuals musical bank ni nyina yengu no captain Bank of Ghana aboka over 60 billion Ghana cedis unprecedented in the history of this country. Ene omusi building besin ne adesint minya the edge or intimi explaining anything to anybody because at some point in time aban no call at abonte so okobo bosia ya pam on say chale na mo free say ye nkrase for sika na mo je no book na makuki no we can't give you any money. They came back and fall on Bank of Ghana say printing sika na for my. So the guy turned Bank of Ghana into a printing press. That's already no pa. Yes, so mun kofi ye da ho na ye print cash go system num. Ye ni buy ho so no na inflation do 60% and over. Of mine no adidia pansam adibi enyeye because production e low, more currency floating in the system and then we dey economy na tetia pansam e na ye de te ho. So saa niema we nyina se cash for seat or the presidency. Common investigation into that particular matter till date we don't know because NDC came out with their report, MPP came out with their report. At the end of the day we couldn't even adopt any. So that particular investigation a waste. Now no yet tiana man for who dollars upon dollars e wo sisi da pa dem. We listen to whole sort of foolish and nonsense your friend saying explanation as to why she had that particular money.
Oh yeah, somebody.
And somebody na make just confirm not chekura wu a nya sa somebody. Captain, enti sa niam ni nyina ba sen call so now you free said the state will commit state resources to investigate some of these things. But in the end what happened? The matter has been killed. Special prosecutor lamenti at some point the crowd you be can some say na no say ona na kill matter no. He had to come. Say Chale, minyan kele matter bia. Many me drew a point that I felt some money laundering and a new room. Enti me ma Yoko. Say Yoko investigate. Ma Tiwaji case na no tro letter come attorney general say, we na about minya den you also talking baby. And then the woman killed the matter. And Tiwa na yakosi ni state yo. E dia kwesi Yoko animu. Say on the hey we are jokers. Now me say when government changes some of these sa niema we nyina even that very night no they should petition the government to destroy all these things.
Yeah, the way
some question state you na there be
no way you petition government. Oh, yeah, no answer call reverse now the pim. Some me share baby. People understand what I'm saying. Let me say we no answer articulate call reverse na ebu no.
Alaska, hey, Captain, me say people will understand what I mean because some of this nonsense we cannot sit here and tolerate some of these things because at the time I Ghana for here near ma sebe ma nipa abrabo asesa bread and butter issue yet kroma na yakofa mrantie napco stop gap measure till date a voice in it here so you see say yetiana say kase ya chronic issues na obe kan mama fa conclude say aden papa na mom penasem why will anybody on his right sense say I hate my president? It's not possible. We don't do that politics. So we are not anti-government activists and whatever. We just want the right thing to be done because I just want Ghana to be a just society where say a brand here sorry or ni so kofa phone ko free bi ansa na wadidi oba sorry anya say oton who cheap the man baby ansa na wadidi but the same kokkrafo na who are supposed to lay proper foundation you know omo says but what this 60 years na yase am na ministerial position you know or Poland na akofa akra wadi 23 years or any PA
o say
me say akokra na ya to lay proper foundation you know yama the post you know o to kan akọ Poland na afa abayo wadi 23 years or any PA so you see there is no motivation Captain, there is no motivation say onye bibi to fix the problems but economy bia be gina we ase a young people let them have access to capital because Captain obi awadi 20 years obi awadi 30 years onye sika they risk they invest obi awadi 60 years 50 years when they get the money they wait for the returns to take care of their life because we're seeing war crimes so it is that everywhere. It's the reason why America adopted a policy to get a lot of people in because they are aging because we are younger who Ferrari are offer who iPhone 6 are offer who iPhone 16 are offer who are offer but we are 60 years or iPhone 15 years what I say so those people don't grow economy but the young people who are supposed to transact do things to get these things buy mortgage and obi are 60 years on top mortgage and the economy no still dead. So you need young people. Say you me say be peer capital. They say young people in some Okroma say because they are the very people who are ready to experiment. But these old people are the very people then they channel everything into real estate because that is the new deal. You the wash sika e Okroma say because so we sika no the koto bank e bisa so we sika no he. Na me nyana me the koto nchensee the koto cement e de kosi dan koto asase say emfa channel bi am no say dan ni si ho. Then me then I set bank account. Then when you buy the land, then the money comes. Then it means that a genuine money from the sales of that building. But when you got the money to build that, nobody ask. And they don't know to chrome her. If you were US crown, I'll make you transfer scanner because it's genuine because a real estate car. That is how people wash money. At the end of the day, you know, money is supposed to go to young people to do business and as if no, that money is not there. And then back to the main Akuffo Addo story and then as a Captain.
Fraud theory.
Akuffo Addo is a fraud. They were chamo, and I know catch say all corner was sell mine na we no, and I cover the Chinese version, and all the neighbors on my metan your fans Ghana for so. Because you see, there is nothing Akuffo Addo aye Baumia and your part. Because Baumia and Anna 2016 only did the lectures, everything. Chastising, bastardizing, insulting, and a whole lot of stuff. Giving theories and as if for say, oh, dollar rate, CD rate, ya borrow to do as if for no Twitter, it is all over. Then he comes over. Then Ghana economy, you know, experiences shocks in the history of this country. It been seen that. Because this is the first time. A coming a year to a point, a Yakabontia declares a challenge we can pay. This is the first time you default on your debt. This is the first time into me we have inflation numbers and as for to the extent that even nipa we Ghana for mudu busika wa ban bosiano. Yentimi nti omoka. So this is the narrative. You don't hear Baumia anywhere talking about the economy. No say oh yeah IT your friend say specialist. Creating an impression as be on the internet ba Ghana. But who be say your friend is saying digital infrastructure ben na wale okroma. He will not be able to tell you anything because all the infrastructures were laid answer na all but because all proud in Hunintino, he's making look like but the core responsibility is the economy. And the economy not to tear pansama say all that they have to do is to go around the country and apologize to Ghanaians. That is all that Baumia and Akuffo Addo from one ahimfie to another, from one town hall to another, apologizing to Ghanaians for investing faith, trust and confidence in them. And the Omodema return, a broken heart, a distraction, the fact that the economy, will take years to recover. This is the reality. Na. So we need decency. Now we begin to have a catch Ghana for say, young to about when you know, say, Vice President now, you are not just a pushover, you are not a sissy, but rather, no, we are a partner to whatever that has happened. Now, so we say Ghana for about now the question is, based on what? And a Ghana for because you see, the whole essence of presidency, basic thing has to do with trust. Can I trust Captain Smart? Answer idea Juma we ever no. And yes, Okasa and as any party. One thing, are you reliable? Can you do the job? Say you hear what beba or time, so beba. Because you can be the best, but every time near Casabraha 1 o'clock. Ubedra na about 3. What I say? So trust is key. So my question is, can Ghanaians trust Bawumia when it comes to some of these things? Because the track record are there to tell you are part of this whole messy economy that we are in now. So Senka Ghana is a serious country, now is serious. Do you think Senka about we be the courage to come and say Yanto Abamana? Then Uncle Fanny Pakan San can was Sanka Kofanapo. Captain, Obeda so Vice President in the po. Or Casa boom boom boom. I say I'm crying the Senate team. Yes. I don't win him no. Casa boom 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 boom. I say Sabi. The battery now good mu cut off. Kasa boom 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 sir. How many times I don't make it public utterances sir? Yama bonti me pacha. How many times? Because as a leader, when you should be measured in your utterances and as a forum. The most important day in his life, the political career has to do with the unveiling as a vice president. That's the biggest political stage ever in his life. What did he do?
He messed up.
The guy used the day to create the biggest scandal in our political history by going off on Nkrumah. So I know the day, what he did, people didn't even talk about it, but they were talking about this. And it has been that upon that. Oh, no, education minister, okay, say, diploma teachers are born.
Training college.
Yes, and there are several instances, what then they did. Watch it say when it comes to leadership and so forth, he's nowhere close. Because you see, you can have a bad president, but you can have a deputy president that will complement it for the shortfalls. Because the whole essence of vice president and so forth is to get somebody to fill in your shortfalls for you so that you complement and become a whole. Because in Nkrumah time now there was nothing like
the vice president.
Exactly.
So vice president
exactly. So or complement it. But captain, maybe more problems, economic problems. Ghana for trust me. Now me po be manaba patena me. Now Akuffo obi say be under ne reputation as for share gatab. Now would near ya. Then it means nipa na oba be di oboso no. You have no respect for them. It's the reason why na no hininto. No MPP ni. MPP former general secretary catch us say Ghana for tenancy santo abama Akuffo Addo be. But then a chance they will never respect the people of this country. Because Jenia Ghana formed in recent times. Baby I na nam na baby eba bedru enne na se ye koso to abama MPP aban bi ma e chese yankasa ye nim nyansa is the reason why I first time about radio so we catch us said wherever in the world that who sustain bad governance nobody is a victim, nobody is innocent. We are all sponsors and accomplices because you contribute to giving oxygen of publicity to what is happening. And we also have the same thing to stop this nonsense. Sometimes it's not about where you stand or where you belong to. US elections hereby I teach a man for a lot of lessons.
Oh yeah, sure.
Donald Trump no be dissociating from him.
Maybe the other supporting.
Yes, and I say me know they were winning. And your friend is saying all the liberal medias in the US now were bastardizing, insulting, and so forth. But when it comes to the core issues, the issue is that America cannot afford to have a weak president because you are the leader of the free world. You can't have a weak president leading America. Umanya no can who be stage so otim the 3 minutes asere ansa na beka dia waka.
Hey Kamala.
Yes, do you think people will take you serious when you are going to sit on the round table with the Talibans and the Houthis and wait to have a discussion to your friends say get global peace? You think they take you serious? So you see, leadership, trust a man for wo is everything. But that is what we don't have. But enam say political class no respect for us. And they think that they can buy a man for conscience and then as for they can just do anything and get away with it. But me I look back. Now me share politics. Captain, you've been around for quite a while. So we when you back to 2000 and Akuffo Addo. We when you 2004. Your friend saying 2012. Then as for Yaba Biduro higher. You should and you know very well say politics are changing. There has been a lot of changes. And never be agree. we've taken a radical turn. Our young people are taking the center stage. You cannot fool them anymore. Because no, it's so easy to access information. Now, no, me catch that. KSM say no young person consumes information and sit idle. When you consume information, it's one no mensa. When you're dying over, then the reaction will come. Who consume information? You will act on the information because you become critical. You begin to ask questions. You want to know why you did this. Yes, many captains, madam for no. Yes, why you say? I want to know why you did that. I'll question you. You understand? The mere fact that you're doesn't mean say, oh, no. That era is long gone. That is water. The old class cannot wrap their head around how we are today. Seeing young people asking all the relevant questions. But I'm saying, say, Captain, we are Ghana near. Obi and Tanya Akuffo Addo, Obi and Tanya.
Oh no.
But me say. Time has come for them to exit. We need to vote them out. That is the only way. Because you see, if you look at the many crimes these people have committed against this country, to the extent that their own people have deserted them, not because we need answer. For you, Captain Smith, for instance, you've been an MPP person, for instance. Say, say it's all about money. Say, oh, pesika.
Hey.
The only time you can make money at this time.
Come here, rich, papa.
So it's not about money. So it's not about money. Then what? So it is about your conviction, sitting down, realizing, say, this is not what we bargained for. This is not what I fought for. This is not what I who sent Kamen Sabaka and Alanchramantin of all people said, why is it a party? MPP or Hininto Hasana. No. This is not the
MPP.
Paula Fokoko. Yes. So you see, we need to be
Addo, former Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry.
Yes. So politics, and I'm saying it is about conviction based. Ideologies are there, but it is about the person doing right or wrong. That is why sometimes I disagree with Ghanaians. Just a Ghana baby, just a third force. But I'm saying you are just jokers. You see, when you have a problem, you don't run away from the problem. We can still have two political parties. Hold them accountable. Say you vote the person out.
Sure.
What I say? Say ne ya two abana John Mahama president or China. Na or say Odin Semuna. The only thing you do is to vote him out. Because once you met radio, so Abra president didn't say then you support him. It's not possible. So when we begin to do this, we will be able to put them on their shoes. In America, for instance, a two-party has been in existence. But look at the rate at which they are changing them. Donald Trump by people felt say ne kasa and they voted against him. Papa way by. Oba also border no be biatum na say be more dama or manya wotin we be border gumna man for across the biasa. And then how do we ensure the security of that country? So at the end of the day, the people voted against him and then they bring in a new leader. So at the end of the day, so what's your Korean so captain? Obey careful. That is all that matters. And in over careful. And at this point, ye nina me ni and I may santini and I had a woman to me we in the park. Let your conviction speak for you. Tama so say you better answer beside all the questions. Abaye no dia na manya film. What is the interest? What is the future like? How do we make sure say you better me e dey mind na si baby asabi. O mind no da achi be ye. The Ghanaian dream na ye kan ho asem no. How are we going to achieve that? These are the relevant questions that we need to change. But me say at this point, these people have crossed their Rubicon. We need to vote them out. The only reason we are voting them out, and they say, you better hold them accountable for the many crimes of my committee. Now, yes, I say, every day, we say you. If we are unable to hold them accountable, then what is that?
So, Mama, I'm in Kwahumana Suna, the national organizer.